Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. This is Abi Malaku and I'm currently working as a postdoctoral researcher at UC Berkeley. Today I will be demonstrating how you can launch Nehru SimCenter's WeUQ tool remotely through a web browser. With this option you can use the tool remotely without the need to install it locally on your machine. Here I will be guiding you through this procedure using a simple CFD example prepared for wind load evaluation. So this will be a very short live demonstration and I will not go deep into the details of the CFD modeling process, which has already been covered in the previous tutorials. A simple step-by-step procedure that you need to follow to do this. It starts with creating a working directory on DesignSafe where you need to upload your files that you're going to use later while launching the remote version of the tool. Once you have done that, the next step will be to launch the remote version or DCV version of the tool from DesignSafe. Then in the next step, you will need to set up your CFD model in the workflow. You can do this either by just importing a JSON file or by just interacting with the graphical user interface remotely. Then the final step is just to submit your simulation and monitor your results. Now we will see each of this step. First, let's go to a DesignSafe webpage. Here we need to first log into the system. Put your credentials in here. It also needs you to put a multi-factor authentication token. And please provide it here. Then connect to Tapas. Now let's create a working directory. To do so, you can go to DesignSafe here, click Data Depot, and then go to your working directory. So let's now add a new folder for storing our files. You can just click add here and specify the name of the folder. Let's say DCV CFD DCV example. Once you created this directory, you can also add files. If you want to add a new file, you can click the same button, the add button here, and select file. You can locate your whatever file that you have. You specify the path here and upload. Here we are just uploading a JSON file. Now let's launch WeUQ. To do so, you can go to the same web page and select applications and tools in here. From this list of tools that can be run on DesignSafe, you select WeUQ here, and you get two versions. One is executable to your local machine that you can run locally, and the other one is a web portal, which we will be using for this tutorial. Now here select get started with the web portal version and allocate computational resources for that. So here use a default setting pretty much. If you want more time for the computational resource that you can request for this remote version to run, you can provide more time here in minutes. Now let's just run this one for 2 hours and select the allocation. So for the allocation, use SimCenter allocation, DesignSafe SimCenter allocation here, and then launch the application. So this will take some time until we get access to computational resources. So please wait a couple of minutes until you are granted access to. Now we have got the location and the remote session is ready now. Let's connect to the server. This will require you to put your credential again. So once you do so, the application will automatically launch. So normally this process will take really long time if you are setting up it for the first time. But after that, it's going to launch automatically. You don't need to wait that much time for WiiUQ to be configured. Now we can make this one full screen and try developing our CFD model. Full screen, allow, and you can stretch the screen here to get more space, and we can start launching the CFD tool. Now, before creating the CFD model, let's log in into DesignSafe from the tool here. So press login in here, provide your credentials, and press login. This will automatically connect the tool, the remote version of the tool, with DesignSafe. Then the next step is to specify the CFD model. To do so, you can go to the menu bar and select Tools and pick Isolated Building CFD Model. This will automatically pop up a new window, a new dialog window for defining the CFD model. You can make it a little bit bigger to get more space here. So you can define the CFD model by interacting with all these tabs and putting all the necessary parameters for the wind load simulation. However, we are not going in depth into this process of defining the CFD model because it is already covered in previous tutorials. Here I will just show you how you can submit the simulation to DesignSafe. Before that, however, let's save this model into our working directory that we have just created. By default, when you launch this tool, essentially it will save all your simulation data in documents directory in DesignSafe. Now let's switch to the directory that we created. To do so, you can just select Browse here and go under your name and select the directory name that you just created. In this case, we created the CFD DSV example directory. So we select that and say choose. So this will automatically save all our simulation data into that directory, and you can later access it from the web portal or the web page from DesignSafe. So here you can interact with your CFD model in different ways. You can view the whole mesh that was created for the CFD model. You can see a breakout view of the model and computational domain. Now, once we have done this one, let's just run the simulation. Before that, initially the simulation was set up for longer duration, but we're gonna run the simulation only for showing this capability. So we're gonna run it for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. Let's put here 1.5 seconds, and then press run at DesignSafe button that you see here. So press this and specify details about the job that you're going to submit to the compute nodes. So here, provide the name of your job. Let's say test 1. Here, specify the number of processors and nodes. Use the default values here. And for the runtime, you can actually make a relatively longer time so that our simulation finishes before the server closes. So let's maybe give for the simulation maybe 4 hours or 3 hours, which will be 240 minutes, and select the allocation. The allocation should be a DesignSafe, SimCenter, and then submit the simulation. So once we submitted the simulation, we can monitor the progress by going to Get from DesignSafe button in here. Here you can see all the simulations that you submitted. We submitted this one right now, and it is kind of actually staging the simulation data and uploading that into the server. So you can check the status here by clicking refresh job. So the next step will be to see if our simulation is completed, and then we can retrieve the results and visualize some of the wind loads on the building. Our simulation was running for a while, and now it seems like it is completed. Now let's retrieve the data and see how the results look. Say retrieve data. This will take some time. Now you can see the downloaded data from the server. You can see the mesh and everything here clearly. Now let's check the results. So you can look into the base loads on the building. You can check the time series, the spectra, and everything. We run it for a really short duration, which is 1.5 seconds here. So it's not really that long duration simulation to do any statistical comparison, but here are the results. You can check base loads, story loads, as well as pressure on the building surface like this. And thank you for attending this tutorial.